Anyway, welcome back to our special guest takeover. Back with Brian and Jake. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for bringing in beer, Brian. You want to tell us about this fancy beer?
Oh man,
Trail Brewing?
this is another selection from New Trail out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, from which I hail. Decided to bring a whole bunch of it down in the middle of the night at 150 miles an hour just to make sure it was still cold by the time we got here. New Trail, they had the heliocentric lines of kind of tart or fruity flavor things. But their bread and butter seems to be hazy IPAs.
Yeah.
Singles, doubles, and they make triples too.
Wow.
And they get very, very dangerous. So this here is a longbow. This is a double hazy IPA. And it has to be 9.1%.
Ooh.
So like, IPAs are typically like really hoppy and really tart. A lot of people don't like an IPA just because it's kind of hard to drink. But it's like, it seems like with New Trail, the higher up, the more IPAs you get in the can, the smoother it gets.
Okay.
But that's the kind of thing, like, if you didn't realize what you just grabbed out of that cooler and you think you're going to be playing cornhole and you down 4 or 5 of them, you're going to wonder why you can't see straight. But it's just that kind of thing. It doesn't taste like super enriched like a Mad Elf or something that it doesn't. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I've not had this one at all, but the ones I've had that they do have, it's just like, this is a very smooth beer. But just like, oh, no wonder you only sell it in a maximum 10-ounce glass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. This is one of those.
I think we're splitting it 4 ways.
On camera.
Yes, yeah, off camera.
It is a 16-ounce can. So, what is it's still about $4 a can.
Yeah, that's basically what I eyeball it for everything New Trail. They do actually they do make some 6-packs of like they have just a white ale. It's just 12-ounce cans.
Okay.
But yeah, all the 16 ounces, the pounders, they only come in packs of 4.
All right. Well, let's taste it, and good luck. So, still that disclaimer for Mike and I, not big IPA fans. I'm getting a little better with it, but I'm shaky on my grading. Brian, do you like IPAs?
I do like IPAs typically because I'm a sweet person, more of a salty person.
Okay.
But if I drink too many sweet things, I can tell that there's extra sugar because it will just make my head hurt a lot.
Okay.
And so if I stick to a nice bitter beer, it makes me think there's no sugar in it. And then it's not like I'm drinking, a keg at a time. It just helps. It sits with me better. So I stick with an IPA because I'll take the bitterness and the hops versus something sugary sweet that might make me overindulge.
Okay. Jake, do you like IPAs?
This slows you down.
So I'm starting to like IPAs. I don't like them real bitter. So far, any ones that are like real high percentage usually are like too much for me. So I'm curious to see, because you said usually when they go up in their percentage for New Trail that it's smoother. So
We'll see.
So I'm excited to see.
Well, let's grab it, take a sniff, take a sip. Wow.
Ooh, you can smell the bitter, like how bitter that is.
It smells delicious.
It's that super IPA smell.
I mean, it's hoppy. It smells hoppy, but I mean, to me, it's not like bowl you over, hit you with a tube sock full of hops kind of hoppy. It's definitely there, but I can still smell like there's a little tinge of sweetness.
Okay.
I do smell a sweetness, but I smell like I keep wanting to say pine, but I know that's not right. So I'm thinking it's like sap.
So I almost want to compare
Sap
it
smell.
to like a Dogfish Head like 60-minute IPA.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm getting. Where it's not like 120, where 120 is like super bitter, super hoppy.
You ever had those?
Super
I've not
good
ever
night.
had those.
I can't even drink a
one day.
120.
Super good night, Irene.
Well,
Let's give it a
Taste
shot.
I like it. I do.
It's not as bitter as I thought it was
It's
going to be.
smooth.
It
There's
is
a little
smooth.
bit of an aftertaste of like tartness or sweetness.
But it's not-
I'm saying, but it's not like it doesn't bite me as hard as
yeah,
most of
you've
them.
had some IPAs. It's just really like, oh my god, it's just they just scoop. It's a glass of the water. The hops have been in for 8 weeks, and they just threw the hops out, and that's what you have. Like it finishes a lot smoother. And New Trails, the high ABV beers they have are pretty similar.
Yeah.
They just, however they figured it out. But again, you're not. It's so high in alcohol, you're not going to be drinking a whole bunch of it. But if you are gonna, it's like, oh
I
man.
don't know, those
Big
sour
guy,
monkeys
so.
I pound down.
New Trail flipped the switch for me on the IPAs with this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is the smoothest IPA that I've ever tried.
Oh, and you drink Dogfish.
Yeah, I don't drink the 60 or 120 like really much at all, but
I try to avoid IPAs because historically it hasn't been something that I liked. I like lagers and ales, and then like what we had in other episodes, like fruity ales, tart ales, or sours. But I've never been into IPAs. This one I really like.
Well, it just goes to show you, fellas, that everything's better doubled. No, everything's better doubled. Mint, D's, cheeseburgers, standards, and IPAs.
Well,
What do you think, buddy?
I'll do 7.8.
Wow.
Yeah.
7.8?
7.8.
Okay.
wow.
I like it a lot. I'm pretty surprised because I really don't go for IPAs, and this one's good.
What are you thinking, Brian? Out of all the IPAs, what do you like?
Oh, yeah, as far as IPAs, I mean, New Trail really nails it. Their standard single IPA is called Broken Heels, and they'll do a double Broken Heels. That's just one more heel thrown in. I don't know. It's another double. Yeah, it's another double hazy. And this longbow is certainly no exception. This is as far as IPAs go. I mean, for something that's 9%, often if you drink a beer with that high ABV, it just knocks you the hell out because you feel like they're just pouring booze after it's done brewing. But this just feels like this is part of the plan.
Yeah.
And I really like it. Now, being a sweet person and knowing how dangerous a 9% that tastes this smooth could be, I'm not going to rate it as high as the heliocentrics just because I find that those are a lot more drinkable because you're hanging out with your friends or you're in the yard or something.
I'm not going to pound these back.
So I'll go with a 7.5.
Okay.
Not to discount it, but just because, like, hey, be careful what you're playing with here. It could cause trouble. But I would with no hesitation, at least definitely order it again.
Oh, yeah,
maybe a third
absolutely.
time in the bar. Like it's delicious.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
chug that down, buddy.
I did. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. I do have to rate it a little lower just because, like you said, it's not generally like a sour or something like that. That's more what I'm going to lean towards. But with that being said, this is the best IPA that I've had. So I will give this a 7.1.
Okay, nice.
Now,
Mike's gonna go low. He's gonna go low.
I still don't like IPAs. However, this is opening up my palate to more of them. With that being said, I'm going to give this one a 6.5. I would order it again at a bar. I still don't love IPAs, but at least they are growing on me. I'm assuming it's something like, fine red wine sort of thing. Or I always wanted sweet stuff in the beginning, and now I'm more leaning towards the drier, tarty stuff. So I think as time goes on, I'm going to like the IPAs more, but this is definitely one that I would order again to try it again. But like Brian said, at 9%, you can't drink too many of these without getting really screwed up. So
This is what I would have after a day at work, and I would probably have one, eat dinner, and go to bed. That would be it.
I wonder what this would do on an empty stomach. Like, would you know what I mean? Like, would it?
Join us next time.
It saves you money though, because instead of crushing 6 Miller Lights, you just have one can of beer, and you're like, you know what? I feel great.
Actually,
I feel we're good to go.
Tap out? You're done.
We'll do a video at like 6 a.m. before any of us eat after we fasted, and we'll see what the result is. We'll each drink an entire can, and we'll only have 20 minutes to drink it.
wow.
I think you should do 2 cans.
I like your style. Yo.
Two cans, and then
We're gonna go out to an obstacle course outside. you gotta run through the tires. You gotta do the monkey bars.
Oh,
Because
yes.
right, like in a normal setting, right? Like if you're you're just drinking to casually enjoy a beer. You usually have like 2 beers in a sitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So drink 2 of those and see how you feel. I don't know. That's
I got some Viper tires we can shove you in and roll you down the hill.
So
I'm
should
game.
we drink 2 in an hour?
Yes.
Is that fair? Oh, that's.
And then that's it
ambitious.
though. That's it. You tap out there.
A whole hour like that. I mean, if you're just hanging around with your friends,
That's doable.
just chillax, and it's just like, I mean, it's only a pint, and you sit there, just
Subconsciously,
sip,
it's doable.
you sip again. And, oh, hey, look at that! Lo and behold, I'm out. I'm gonna have another one.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
I think there's a hole in my glass,
we're gonna have to take a trip up to Williamsport to get more of this, and we'll each have 2. And maybe at that point, what we can do is we could drink it from the comfort of our home and just put videos up as to see what happens.
That's a good
We'll
idea.
do a Zoom meeting.
I'm gonna be on the floor saying,
Oh,
"Oh, it's good. That's gonna be great." Cool. Well, thanks,
All right.
Brian, for bringing us down.
You're welcome.
It's awesome. Go get it up at New Trail Brewing up in Williamsport. Take a drive. Nice up there. Buy some merch from them. You're welcome, New Trail. It's a plug for you. All right, cool. Well, have a beer with us.
Have a beer with us.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.